Shalom Yasharala Yabaraka Kami How about Shama Hamashiach Yahushai. Let's go. Let's just get right back into it. So, salute to all the 12 tribes scattered throughout North, South, Central America. If you can hear me okay, put a 7 in the room. Let me go ahead and make sure I get this link so I can share it to everybody else. All right. Opening a new tab. Got to see what we got here. All right. And excellent, excellent. All right. So I'm gonna start a screen share too, so you all will be able to see. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's start that screen share and screen share, and we will be doing Leviticus chapter 13. Jumping right into it. All right. All right. So as this gets set up, I'll be right back. All right. Back at it like a Torah addict out of rehab. Better step back. Oh, he's bad. But the same man you used to know, if it ain't dead, how can it grow? If it don't die first, how can it grow? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. All right, so we got the Torah portion pulled up, and I gotta make sure I share out and pull up my comment board. And that gives plenty of time. So anxious. I don't like this. This is too chill. I don't like that. That's too chill here. That's too laid back. Now this right here though. Mm, that's groovy. I like that. That's groovy. Let's see what else we got. I think there's another one I like. I think I just seen it. There's that one. And then let's go here. Eh, eh, that's all right. Let's do grown folks. Grown folks. You know what? I remember this. I do like this one. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one. All right, so I want to make sure you all can see more Torah in my big head. It's funny, so I guess it's the anniversary day. I got on the old school Army of Israel, you know what I'm saying? 837 Regiment Special Forces Sniper, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de woo. Got on my old school E37 garment. And I guess it's like some type of anniversary or something because it's like the same day, Maharka posted a Torah portion teaching of me from back in the day. So I guess it's like some type of spiritual anniversary. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I came in, I got ready to go live, and I seen me already doing a Torah portion. I was like, "What the?" Oh, Maharka posted the video of me already teaching Shabbat. It's pretty cool. I guess it was weird. All right, let's get to it. Y'all brought coming about your Mashak Shah, your brother Karatazaya Ban Yashal, and we back at it like Torah addicts out of rehab. It is the seventh day of the week, the Shabbat day, and the Most High gave us the Shabbat day to worship, praise, and get refreshed in Him. Hallelujah. So, as we see, we started this week's Torah portion reading with the law of clean and unclean. We've seen Leviticus. We've seen Leviticus, and that was powerful in itself. All right, starting right at Leviticus chapter 12, we're seeing that the Most High did what? He gave us the laws of uncleanliness pertaining to women first. All right, it was the Catholic Church Who changed the Sabbath day? Who changed it? Who did that? It was the Catholic Church. They changed it. So, anywho, so the reality of it is a lot of people don't know the laws of being set apart and keep it holy. And if you don't know what it is to be unclean, then you don't know what it is to be holy, right? So we live now. Let's go ahead and do this Facebook screen share. All right, we live now. LIV now. Let me go and share the screen too. All right, so we live now. So our porch named Dumb Punk Buster. All right, so this week's this week's Torah portion. Let me show you all something. This is all you gotta do if you want to learn. Type in this week's Torah portion in your Google browser or whatever. You got this website here called Kabod. You can use that. The one that I use is called First Fruits of Zion. First fruits of Zion are literally the children of Israel. If you understand the terminology, it's spoken in the code. Zion is Jerusalem. The first fruits are the Israelites. The first fruit, Christ was the first fruit, and then we're the fruits after him of Zion. All right. Weekly Torah portion. You can come and use this link anytime you want. Now, some of us, like myself, have this inside of our books. All right. Some of us have went through this a few times. All right. I want to show you. You see this picture right here? This is a picture of a woman that's nurturing and nursing her baby. She's sitting there by herself. She looks like a young woman, maybe 17, maybe 15. She don't look old. She don't look old. She's like a very young woman. Maybe she's 19, maybe she's 20, maybe she's 23, 22. Maybe she's just old and she just look young. Who knows? The scriptures tell us that when a woman gives birth to a child, there's something that the woman is supposed to do. The woman is supposed to, one, separate herself. She's supposed to separate herself because she's now what's called unclean. Now, unclean isn't a bad thing to the degree of it's like, oh, you're just, icky. If I don't know, it's not a bad thing. Like it's just something terribly negative. It just means that you're set apart. When the Most High gave us the principle of being unclean pertaining to marriage, it's because a life just came out of her. Her intestines, her internal organs, all that stuff has just been rearranged. She's been on what they say the closest doorstep to death. Is that what they say? Giving birth to a child is like closest to being deaf. I thought sleep was the cousin of death, but I ain't got no competition for a woman. Women that have given birth, you brought life and kings into the world. Salute to all you mothers and to you soon to be mothers. So, learning this week's Torah portion is very important because you're going to be learning again. If you've seen part one of our video, it was literally after the woman gives birth to a son, she's to be set apart for a certain number of days. We also taught how to read the Bible contextually, not by my opinion, not by my breakdown, but how to read it contextually based off what are paragraphical marks called pilcrows. All right. We also seen that if a woman gives birth to a son, that time frame of her being unclean is actually a lot shorter than it is if she gives birth to a girl. So if she gives birth to a girl, she's unclean 66, I think is it 66 days plus I think 2 weeks, which says pertaining to the time of her separation. Now when it says pertaining to the time of her separation, what that means is when a woman has her menstrual cycle or has her period, okay, she's now considered to be unclean. All right, so come on over here. All right, come learn these laws. All right, come learn these laws of the Most High. We live now. It's part two. All right. So we're gonna send this out real quick. Boom. Now, if you're watching, I want to encourage you all to do what? Guess what I'm gonna encourage you to do? I'm gonna encourage all of y'all to do the same thing that I just did, which was share out this Torah portion reading. Let's get over here. Leviticus chapter 13. Now we're reading about the test for leprosy. If you didn't, get this in, if you didn't get this already, so we've already done this. The test for leprosy in a couple different categories. The Most High teaches us on how to, prescribe a, you know, a, you know, a surefire way of finding out if someone has an infectious skin disease. Now, before there was COVID, we call it, what they do? What do they do? COVID, quarantine. Yeah, before before they did COVID quarantine. All right, we had something else. We had the quarantine of the Levites. Okay, we had the Levitical quarantine, and the Levitical quarantine actually, according to the scriptures, is how the Father showed us that if somebody has any skin issues, starting from the crown of their head, going into the skin in their flesh, the priest is supposed to look on that person and lock them up in a safe room for 7 days. And after that 7 days, boom, I come back and check on you. After that 7 days, boom, I come back and check on you. After that 7 days, boom, I come back and check on you. Shalom, if you up here, let me get a 7 in the room if the sound is good. Also, appreciate you. Let me get a 7 in the room if the sound is good. Also, same thing I'll ask you to do with everybody else and everything else, share out. All right. Wouldn't that be a blessing? All right. I seen a beautiful video this morning and it was very encouraging. So, 7 in the room if the sound is good. Baba Kusha, and I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Also, put in the chat if I have the chat up. You know what I'm saying? I can see it now. All right. So, Shalom. So, I have the chat up. So, I'll be able to see, when you put something here. All praise. All right. Go greatly appreciate that. You know, go out. All right. So, let's go ahead and get to it. And again, share out. Um, Leviticus 13. Everything from the plague of leprosy that's in the man, we're supposed to take from to the priest. Now, when we went through, I think I just kind of want to do it again. All right, let's just do it again. All right, so we stopped at chapter 13. We're going to chapter 14. This is the test to see if someone in your community has leprosy. Leprosy are a few different forms. All right. Leprosy in general, a sickness, an issue in the skin, all right, and the dermatologist issue, your dermatitis, all right, in your skin, your outer layer, your armor. Your armor has an issue. If your armor has an issue, that issue can spread to somebody else's armor. If or that armor issue can rot out your armor and then go inside your body and make you sick. So this is how the Most High said, check for it. Now, one of the most scariest things that people have to worry about outside from the sun is mold and fungus. All right. A lot of scary movies have taught us about how fungus and mold, all right, amongst us, real fungus, a real fungus from the movie Amongst Us. All right, so it's actually happening right now. Uh, there was a movie that's out, a video game called Amongst Us. All right, and in it, there's a living fungus that takes over people's brains and it makes them trip out. Okay, so I want to show you all something real quick. Zombie fungus insects. I'm not making this up. This is what's happening right now in 2026. I apologize if these images are a little bit bothersome to you. This is what's going on all around the world. These insects are called zombie insects and they're being controlled by funguses. Now, these funguses are growing out of these already dead carcasses, insects, and it's making them move and do things that they don't normally do. And it's also changing the shapes of these insects. These are zombie grasshoppers, zombie flies, zombie spiders. Now, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. All right, let me show you something. 2025 zombie spiders. There you have it. These are popping up all over Australia, all over the world. These are zombie spiders, and they're real. These spiders are being controlled by funguses and molds that have taken over their lives and is now causing them to be deformed to walk, move, jump from trees, land. If you have arachnophobia, I can't help you with what's coming up next. All right, hold on. We got a call coming in. My bad. We got a call coming in. Sorry about that. All right, which I do accept calls. I accept calls while we going in. All right, let's go ahead and see what this is. All right. So this is a real issue, something to really be concerned about. Why? Because it's coming to a hood near you. You know what I'm saying? And not knowing exactly when and or where. See, this isn't made up. Horrifying zombie fires. Hey, Shalom, I just missed a call from you.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. What's the word, sir?
Yes, I'm doing all right. Just reaching back out to say about some, I was calling back about some job from the other day. I got time. I'm gonna call to stop in see what that woman doing. Is just walking or just like basic training? What I really need.
Okay, all praise. Well, hey, can I do something? Can me and you communicate after the sun go down? Right now, I teach the Torah, which means I teach,
Okay, okay.
yeah, I teach
Yes,
on the
sir.
Sabbath.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Most I bless, King. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Thanks for
sir.
calling. I'll hit you back. As a matter of fact, text me your math and everything so I can catch back up with you.
Okay, yes, sir. Most definitely.
All right, shalom, bless. Hallelujah. All right, so matter of fact, I should send a brother a link to where we are. So this is what we currently are looking at. These are not fake. These are not CGI. These are real. Okay, that's fake. All right, that's fake. That's from Reddit. Okay, pray is fake. Yahweh might send something like that according to the Book of Revelations. But why is this important? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Peace and blessings. Absolutely. I got you, brother Isaiah. Most I bless you, Prince. Shalom. Peaceful Sabbath. I got you, King. All right. All right. So let's take a step back. Let's zombie spiders, zombie insects, zombie apocalypse. Yeah. All right. The movie was Last of Us. Yeah, the movie Last of Us. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're not ready for what's coming. Infected rats being drugged by body, but you know what I'm saying, by the you know. So let's get back to this real quick. Sorry about that if it bothered your senses, especially if you think about that, man. Ugh, you don't want to think about that. You don't want to think about that. So when we look clean and unclean, the Most High is teaching us about this, and this is what they put in movies, to show us that this is also what's coming because it's what's written in the Bible. You know, um, I would personally watch that scary movie just because I would want to see what they're talking about. I know that people are sensitive to that; they wouldn't like to, but once you see in the scriptures, you're like, oh yeah. All right, Leviticus chapter 13. I just scrolled down to verse 24 because we've already read this part. Now we're only using this to jump back up to Leviticus chapter 14. Leviticus chapter 13, or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning and a quick flesh that burneth, that burneth, have a white, bright spot, somewhat reddish or white. I had to touch back on this point because we're at this specific typographical mark, which is called a pilcrow. Typograph, typograph. Yeah, 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 yeah. So this pill crow or blind P or a backwards P, all of these titles, it shows us where, the subject matter paragraph is about to switch up. All right. So different forms of leprosy. All right. One of the forms of leprosy that we have, and I mentioned this before, people don't like to talk about it, is, what is it called? S1V1. What is the correct name? S1V1 virus. S1V1 virus. I'm waiting to see if I get the right information. I'm waiting on my personal Gentile servant, my GPS, Gentile personal servant, GPS. All right, refer to common pathogen, this, SARS. Yeah, SARS, all that. All right, so people don't like to talk about it, but herpes are just like chlamydia, just like gonorrhea are in the Bible. I've seen people make jokes and stuff about it, but I haven't actually seen them teach on it, which just was like, dang, man, that's something. Dang, something else we gotta do. Dang, we gotta. Okay, so if they're making jokes about it, that means they're unlearned. Well, that's kind of all right. Cool. Me too. All right, so let's go to it. Where do we have? Let's go to. We're gonna close this screen and we're gonna go to Leviticus chapter 13 and verse 25. Then the priest upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot is turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look upon it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. So this is the original quarantine procedure that we see the Most High gave to the children of Israel from our great teacher, which is called our legislator Moses. He breaks down all these different principles. Please, if you didn't miss, excuse me, if you did miss the first video, number one, please go back and watch it. All right, and you'll get all these details. For the sake of everybody else that did get it, we're gonna go ahead and go to chapter 14 because there's some juicy things that's in here. Some very controversial things here. All right, but just to finish out the chapter, all right, and we want to give everybody a chance to say the Kala Shirah. We're gonna finish this chapter. We're going to start this chapter. We're going to finish it at the low crow. Now, this is how you jump to a place in the conversation, the scriptures, to where you want to make sure you're in a place where it makes sense. You want to find the last or one of the pill crows that's in between all of this space, from pill crow to pill crow, and you will be able to stay on topic. Like all of this from verse 53 down to verse 58 is the same topic, right? And then you get down to verse 59, and then now the subject change, right? That's what I mean to say. So we're going to finish up with Leviticus chapter 13, verse 53. And he reads, and if the prince, excuse me, and if the priest shall look and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either the warp or the woof, or anything of skin, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after it was washed, and behold, if the plague had not changed his color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean. How? Why? Did you get it? You might have heard not, and you was like, well, how's it unclean? It said it didn't change color. Because if you have a garment, and I got this garment. All right, let me script this, switch to the screen share and say. So I got this garment, and this garment has mold on it. Right, this is actually paint and caulk, but it's clean because it's washed off. It's water soluble, and this is the old One West, E37 OG vet. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. We'll. So facts of the matter is, if this garment had mold or mildew on it, I had just picked it up out of a bag or drawer, and I was like, oh yeah, I could throw this on. And it's got all mold and mildew and all the other stuff. Listen, the reality of it is, if that garment, this garment right here, has a what's called a fretting mold. A fretting mold is an aggressive mold. It means I can't wash it off. I tried to wash it, but that black stain won't go away. It ain't a stain no more. Now that mildew, that mold, that spider fungus is now that virus is now infected in your garment. Your shirt, when you go to sleep, is gonna turn into one of these. When you go to sleep, your dress gonna turn into one of these. You know why? Because you didn't wash it. All right. I'm the worst. Don't talk to me. I am the worst. All right. And these are real images. This is what fungus, bacteria, uncleanliness can do. It can take something that's not alive and have it as body, so happen to our skin little by little. We know the Most High says that it can also happen with our garments, with our clothes. The water for rocking with us for building. Make sure y'all share this out. All right, you got friends and people on Facebook. You got some hate enemies. Make sure they get this too. All right. So since it did not change color, that's how you know you have an aggressive mold in your clothes. Watch this. And the plague be spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt what? Burn it with fire. That, excuse me, it is fret inward, whether it be bare without or within. Word fret, it means it's aggressive. All right. You have a fretting issue. Your breath is fretting. All right. All right. An aggressive, a cancer or something. Saying, may Yahweh protect us all from that. All right, Leviticus chapter 13, 6. And if the priest look and behold, the plague be somewhat dark, so it washed away a little bit, after the washing of it, then he shall what? Rend it out of the garment. So now this section that was messed up, I just cut this section out, right? Because it started to fade away. That means it's not embedded. It's not going to spread through the rest of the garment. Like if you search for bed bugs, you go to your mattress and you flip up the mattress. You flip up the mattress and you look around. You say, I know I do inspections. Man, listen, I know I do inspections. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. I just passed out. I passed up a contract because there was some others. I'm like, man, he's coming fast, but I don't want to talk about that. It's the Sabbath. If you go around the collar of your shirt and you find, that there's an issue and it's renting, it's ripping there, it's starting to just disintegrate or something like that, you more than likely have a fretting issue with something in your clothes. All right. So the Most High says that the priest is supposed to rent or cut that part uh, out of the skin or out of the warp or out of the wolf. All right. And it shall. Can somebody that's a seamstress? Are there any seamstress in Israel that can tell us what the warp and the wolf of clothes is? There's so many things that we don't learn because terminology. And so are there any seamstress that can put a brief explanation of women? You need seamstress. If you just know what a warp and a wolf is, would you mind teaching others? And if it appears still in his garment, either in the warp or the wolf, or in any thing of skin, it is a spreading plague. Thou shalt burn it, thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. And the garment, either the warp or the wolf, or whatsoever thing of skin it be, which thou shalt wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the second time and shall be clean. Okay, there go that principle of the old grandmamas washing the shirts and the clothes, or wash it and wash it again. All right, it ain't ready yet. All right, Leviticus chapter 13, verse 50, 59. And after this, we'll go to the next section. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a garment of woolen or linen, either in warp or woof, or anything of skin, it clean or to pronounce it unclean. Repeat after me. Kalashara, Debar Yahweh, Na Aisha, Wanasham. All that the Lord has said, will we do and hear. Leviticus chapter 14, Hud. Waya Amar al Masha Debarium. Wa and Ya Waha Waha. And but we would say ha in English, but the way it's written is wa and the Lord, but it would say wa ya Amar I'll Masha Debarium. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, this shall be the law of the leopard in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leopard, then the priest shall command to take for him that is to be cleansed, alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and shall dip them in the living bird, excuse me, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle upon him that to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into an open field. And to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And after that he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of the tent 7 days. I should have used so luckily I should have used Chris Calico image for this week's Torah portion teaching. Chris Calico Ventiligo. I used Chris Calico's vitiligo image for this week's Torah portion. This man has got a beautiful face. Let me see if I can go ahead and save this image. Can I download this? Man, that would have been so suave. All right. I have to do it next time. Chris Calico is an amazing artist. He's with a record label called Strange Music. I think no, he left Strange Music. He's doing his own thing now. But Chris Calico and his uh, music production, he made sure he spoke about his vitiligo. He made sure he spoke about how it made him feel as a child and how he was bullied and how he was a little fat kid and he was weird, but he was smart and his face was strange and it's like he felt like he had a mask on. I should have used that as an example. I should have found some Chris Calico instrumentals and talked behind Chris Calico. That would have been dope. Maybe I can get in touch with Chris Calico and be like, "Hey, bro, I got an idea. That's good. I should do that. Hey, man, I want to use your face for the Torah portion teaching. All right, you a clean leopard. Did you know that?" But him growing up in the church, yeah, of course, I believe he does. He teaches about that. He speaks about that too. So this is Chris Calico, the artist. His music is not suitable for everybody. It's definitely not suitable for children. I don't know. I know he's got some songs about God, etc. You know what I'm saying? This is not a real picture. That's messed up. Somebody shouldn't have did that. That's just messed up, weird, and ugly. All right. So anywho, back to it. That's what we are looking at when we're looking at the condition of vitiligo. Um, if a person has leprosy, now they've come into the condition to where they are being cleansed. Now that they're being cleansed, here's the sacrifice. Now, this sacrifice is actually called the law of righteousness. The law of righteousness puts us back in good graces with the Most High whenever we sin or whenever we make an offense. But it's not the law of righteousness anymore that puts us back in good graces with the Most High. It's now the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Romans chapter 7, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Romans chapter 7 shows us something very specific. All right. And we're going to jump right down to it. We kind of went over this earlier, but I'm gonna do it a little quicker, a little bit briefer. All right, so it says, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how the law has dominion man as long as he liveth." So the law of the Most High has dominion over us as long as with. Now, here's the issue with that. The Most High took away a certain thing from us, which are the children of Israel. The Most High took away from us the priesthood. All right. The Most High took away the priesthood, and that's what we don't take it into consideration. We should, and it sucks. Gifts. We don't have a big old diesel Negro homie wearing a huge gold breastplate and prophesying the Lord here. But the awesome part about something greater, which is Christ our King Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And I know that believes not everybody in Israel believes in Christ. Not everybody believes that there's what sick torture for his own people, and it was that he actually lived. So some people have a problem with that. I don't. The Apostle Paul is super smart. The way that the Apostle Paul does it, and shalom and salute to all of the people struggling with the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul was super intelligent, so he knew how to play word games. I know people don't like me because of the way that I speak or however, like I whatever. I had to do it one time. He was like, "I don't like your face," and I was like, "Dang." Uh, Paul was really smart. His word hard so the scripture. It's what they're one. Now it really don't. They don't even say translating. that the children of Israel say, who Israel for hey, we have a difficult could be, internet the music off quick. That might help. Sometimes mine goes fast in the super computer. Or I need a super. Why to think? Let me know that it's choppy. Dang it, man. All right. Well, okay. Excellent. Let me know if that uh, all right. This edit. All right. I'm gonna try this again. Welcome to my study room. All right, we're gonna try this again. Is it still choppy? Let me know. I had to reload it. All right, is it still choppy? Still choppy? Still choppy? Is it still choppy? Is it storming? It's storming here. It's definitely storming, but there's also solar weather. All right. All right. Let me show you all something real quick. All right. Let me show you all something. I'm gonna start a screen share. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. We're gonna wait and see if it speeds up. Look at this.
And welcome everyone. I'm your host, Stefan Burns. We are right now in the critical time period that we've been looking at, not just for a few weeks, but actually I've been looking at this time period now for a few months. And this is because there is a convergence of factors. We're talking solar factors, like this giant.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, what you're looking at is a huge hole. Sounds a little better now. You sound a little better now. Okay, maybe I should slow down too. What you all are looking at right here is a huge hole that's in the sun. All right. When he says coronal hole, this when I be talking about CM, coronal mass ejections and stuff. These are the holes that are inside the sun. See this one? This is southern facing of the sun. This is actually facing the Earth. When I'm telling y'all we're having a lot of energy coming from outside of space that's affecting us, I think I'm joking. I'm not. Just check this out real quick. This is recently.
Coronal hole. We're talking, for example, space factors. We have a comet right now, the brightest comet of 2026. It's at its perihelion tomorrow, its closest approach to the sun. It has a super long plasma tail.
Perihelion means that it's literally lined up between the sun. It's in front of the sun, so perihelion is lined up with the sun. It's this comet you can go outside and see. That's how big it is. So there's a lot of solar space activity going on. Put a 7 in the room if the sound. All right, now we can pick it back up. I want y'all to be aware of this.
I can show you it right here really quick. This is Pan stars, and that is quite significant. It will have a perfect Sun, Comet, Earth alignment 25th, 26. We have this really notable planetary alignment right now. Earth, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune.
So if I tell you we having some issues in space, I'm trying to tell y'all what I've been studying. Literally planetary alignments with comets in front of the sun and the earth, and you having fire waves being shot at our atmosphere, and people still think the earth is flat. So it's a lot of stuff going on in space. All of this stuff does affect the ionosphere. It affects the stratosphere. All right, it seems like the sound is good. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into it. Very interesting information. All right. Um, yeah, yeah. So if anybody would like that, here's a link to that. All right. His name is Stefan Burns, and I watch his news. Thank you so much. Quite regularly, and in the process of, um, I learn a lot. All right. So if you would like that link, there it is. All right. If I could, I would love to be able to show and do the demonstration displays and stuff like that because I could explain them. Well, if I was on it, I could explain. I could do the explaining. That ain't the problem. All right. All right. So let's get to it. Um, it looks like we're back up. It looks like we're back good. All right. Let's open back up to where we were. We were Leviticus 14, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. And I'm going to share this screen and we're going to pick it right back up with let's get us some Nagayanium. All right. All right. Now, let me know if it's choppy now that I'm going to play some music. So now I'm going to play some music in the background. You all let me know if it's choppy. All right. If it's choppy, what I'm saying? If it's choppy, we just turn it all the way off. All right. So you all let me know how the sound is in the background. Put a 7 or put a 3. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it. And time to restart. All right. We're going to restart. Leviticus chapter 14. Now, this is the law of, and I'm so sorry that you all missed so much. This is the law of that Gentile set apart. I shouldn't have said Gentile. That that set apart person is now been healed of their affliction. So now here's the prescription of what to do after that. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leopard in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leopard, then shall the priest command to take him from him that is to be cleansed 2 birds, alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in the earthen vessel over running water. So, from what I was taught, uh, that one of those birds, you hold it and you actually have to break its neck over, like you pour running or over running water, and its neck is broken. Um, so yeah, these are the Most High's principles. I don't question them. Verse 6. As for the living bird, he shall take it and the cedar wood and the scarlet and hyssop, and shall dip them, all of these items, and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water, and shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into an open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall, excuse me, and he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes and shave off all his hair and wash himself in water that he may be clean. And after that, he shall come into the camp and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. Hallelujah. And after that, he shall come up into the camp and shall what? Tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. So now he's got to come back into the community, but we still watching you. All right. So you in, but you still got to kind of stay off to the side by yourself 7 more days. So still 7 more days quarantine. All right. This is beautiful. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 9. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head and his beard and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shall shave off. Literally, that means when it says all, and somebody get ready to ask, do we shave the private, the pubic? Even all his hair shall he shave off. But the problem wasn't on, I got chest hair. Do I? Even all his hair shall he shave off, right? And he shall wash his clothes also. He shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day, he shall take 2 lambs without blemish, and one ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3 tenths of fine flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. And the priest that maketh him, excuse me, and the priest that maketh him clean, this is his own personal physician, shall present that man that is to be clean, and before Yahweh at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take 1 lamb and offer him for a trespass offering and the log of oil and wave them for a wave offering before Yahweh. And they shall slay the lamb in the place where they kill the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place. As for the sin offering, as for the sin offering is the priest, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy. So this specific section of the animal's cut goes to the Levite, and I believe it's the shoulder. All right, on both of these offerings is most holy. It's to feed the Levite for his hard works for the Most High. It's also to feed the Levite's family, and it's to feed the Levite's Gentiles. It also Gentiles, because we weren't allowed to have servants from Israel, so our servants were commanded to be of the heathen that are around about. And then after they, you know, were repentative ways, then they became Israelites ish, or they became, as they call today, Jewish. All right. So Leviticus chapter 14, verse 4, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in that oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle the oil with his fingers 7 times before Yahweh. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of the right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. So, right, let me see your right thumb, okay, and let me bow down. All right, all right. And the remnant of that oil is the priest in the priest's hands shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed. Okay, so pour that, get the rest of it. I know I done did like this a couple times. We're gonna pour what's left and pat it on your head. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahweh. All right. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 9. And a priest shall offer a sin offering and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness. And afterwards he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering of the altar. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 21. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take one lamb for the trespass offering to be waived, and an atonement for him on the and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a what? For a meat offering and a log of oil. I still have to find out how much a log of oil is. I know it's around here somewhere, but the father just haven't given me exactly what a log of oil is. You know what I'm saying? I understand that the meat offering it would be like the cornbread, tortilla shells, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Wafers. But a log of oil, I still is that just a like just bring him like a big log of olive oil? Like, what do I do? I cut out a log and I pour it full of olive oil and I put the top on it, and I mean, what do I do? You know? Or is that just a volume amount? Leviticus chapter 14, verse 22, and two turtle doves or two young pigeons, as much as he is able to get. You see how little pressure Yahweh puts on us? Even in the law of sacrifice, if this sounds like a lot, these are only the things that we're supposed to bring to him. The priest would take care of all these things. The priest would take care of all these instructions. We knew what the priest was do, but the Levites had to have them down pat. All right, wasn't no making mistakes and doing extra stuff and then be like, "Oh, go back and read it later." No, you burnt up. All right, no mistakes, Levites. All right, which is ridiculous. Where any Levites would say to not read and or teach the Torah portion. I'm never going to rest on that one. So that's completely um, deaded. All right. So uh, so we, in the land of drawing water, where we escape from the noise of the archers, we are rehearsing righteous acts. These are the laws of the Most High that taught us not only the principles of being set apart, but how to be in good graces with Him. And then He has so much grace. He has so much grace. Excuse me, I don't know if I said grace. He has so much grace that He also says, if you don't have these, you can bring such as He is able to get. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. You can't bring that. Bring me these two small things. If you can't buy it, I know you can go and catch you a turtle dove. I know you can go catch you two pigeons. The most whales at our feet. Will you be sincere about it? Leviticus chapter 14, verse 23. He shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing, because on the 7th day he just shaved all the hair off his entire body, completely naked, no hair on his arms, on his back, on his genitalia area, no hair in his butt crack, no hair on your toe knuckles, no hair on your eyebrows, no hair on your. If you got like me, I have hair in my earlobe. I have hair on my earlobe, right? I used to. Do I still, or did it go away? Nope, it didn't go away. Nope, didn't go away. So shave all the hair that is, right? So now on the 8th day, right, he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing to the priest, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahweh. So now you know why different reasons people are standing there. If I'm standing there and I'm all shaved bald and I got two turtle doves and or two pigeons, then you know that I was just healed from leprosy. Whatever that leprosy might have been. All right. All right. Welcome to the waiting room. All right. This is your house waiting room in front of the curtain tabernacle. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 24. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and a log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering for Yahweh. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of that oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Yahweh. And the priest shall put that oil that is in his left hand upon the tip of the right ear, and of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. Verse 29, Leviticus chapter 14. And the rest of that oil that is the priest's hands, he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before Yahweh. And he shall offer the one of the turtle doves or of the young pigeons, such as he can get. Verse 31. Even such as he is able to get, and the one of a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering with the meat offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before Yahweh. This is the law of him whom is the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertaineth to his cleansing. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 33. Cleansing a leprous house. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, when you come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for possession, and I put the plague, it says, Yahweh says, and I put the plague of leprosy in the house. Whoa! I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And let me read that in Hebrew. I know it says what it says. I might have to drink some Sari on that one. When you come into the land of Canaan, and ow! Oh, I ain't never seen that. I said, Anya. He said, Anya Nikan. Anya Natan Lakam Ahava. Natan. And then he says, Nagai. And then he says, Tazara'ah. Tazara'ah. The Most High he says, and I give you the plague of leper. I have never seen that. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 34. When you to the land of Canaan, that's on my forehead sweating, which I give you for possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession. I just realized my family didn't come up here. I just thought about that. I just thought I literally just clicked in my head. I was waiting all this time, and now I'm not even gonna ask for a reason of why not. Oh. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 35. And he that owneth the house. Whoa, Leviticus chapter 14, verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when you come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in the house of the land of your possession, and he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seems to me that there is somewhat of a plague in the house. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go in to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean. And afterward, the priest shall go in to see the house. So I went to the Levites. I'm like, yo, I think that the Most High, he's put the plague of leprosy in my house. I think my house is unclean. Wait, I don't know. Was the Levites the original Ghostbusters? Not trying to be funny too, but they go in and inspect it like, yo, everybody out. Something's not right in here. So we had to empty the house. That's crazy. That's crazy. The confidence and the trust. That's crazy. You know what? I ain't gonna fight it. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the wall of the house with hollow streaks, greenish or reddish, which are in sight, are lower than the wall, So we're seeing the same issue with the wall that we've seen with our skin. Then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shall shut up the house 7 days. Now this house is quarantined. And the priest shall come again to the seventh day and shall look and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. So now we're doing our drywall. We go in and we take out our plaster, you cut out the drywall and you throw it away. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scraped off the wall without the city unto an unclean place. This is true firsthand construction maintenance. We are the original masons. I hope you know that. We talking about scraping the dust of mold off. You mean to tell me we have no breathing apparatuses or nothing to protect ourselves? We most certainly did. The Most High is good. You didn't listen. Everything is in here. So our Levites were even our initial house inspector. Leviticus 14:42, and they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall what? Plaster the house. Now this is what we call. Let me come over here because this is what we call it. Here, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Drywall mud. That's it. It's drywall mud. It's drywall mud. Some of you have seen this bucket. Y'all probably got some of this sitting around your house. It's drywall mud. Take new plastic. See what they did was they already packaged up the plastic for you. That was genius, wasn't it? Wasn't that genius? Wasn't that a Jewish move? Wasn't that a Hebrew so smart move? We're gonna make the mud and mix the mud that the Hebrews already made, the mortar, etc., and then we're just gonna put inside of a bucket and sell it to them for $50 a bucket. Great. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 42. Let's get back to it. Leviticus 14:42, and they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. And if the plague come again and burn the house, after he hath taken away the stones, and after he hath scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague is spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house. What? It is unclean. The whole house is condemned. Condemn that house. Don't go in that house. Don't use the house. The house is unclean. The Most High house has put a plague in our house. That's deep. And he shall break down the house and shall carry them forth out of the city into a unclean place. Over he that goeth into the house at all, while it is shut up, shall be unclean until even. That should tell you something about going into empty houses, vacant houses, and stuff like that. If you come out of the house, you need to take shorts before you come home and start hugging and kissing all your family. You know what I'm saying? That's a good lesson. Leviticus chapter 47, and he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and and behold, the plague hath not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop. What y'all think about to happen? The same thing that happened last time, probably. Let's read. And he shall kill, yep, he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel. So vessel would be like a glass bowl or a wooden bowl, you know what I'm saying, or a clay pot. something. It wouldn't be bronze. You would copper. You wouldn't do it in a gold vessel. It would be in something that you can break in earthen vessels, right? Pottery. In earthen vessel, birds in an earthen vessel over running water. Let's read it again. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 50. And this is to get the plague out of your house. Maybe some of us should try this. Doing these Levite sacrifices, but and he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take cedar wood, and hyssop, and scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. I want to show y'all a really cool movie. It's called Branded. All right, it's about a guy who does the Levite sacrifices and things happen. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and cedar wood, and hyssop, and with scarlet. But he shall let go the live bird out of the sea into a field, and to make an atonement for the house. And it shall be clean. This is the law for all manner of plague of the skull, and for the lips of the garment, and of the house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, each when it is unclean. This is the law of leprosy. Hallelujah, 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 Bahasham, Hamashayach, Yahweh. Let's go to chapter 15 and we're going to verse 33. So that whole chapter on the leprosy a lot, and it has to do with not only dermatology issues, like issues with our flesh, our skin, but issues outside from that. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't seen that movie, The Last, or the fungus zombie movies, really check them out because them mugs are a trip. Showing you like this is what things can and do turn into. All right. So let's summarize and finish this up. What'd you say? Oh, we got a O. We got a O. What's up? O. What's up? O. Got a 7. Don't you know? What's up? O. 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 All right. Let's get back to this. All right. So lastly, coming up, this week's Torah portion dealing with the law portion. Leviticus chapter 15, we're reading verse 33, and we have cleansing. Look at this, unhealthiness. See, this wasn't taught to us before, or maybe it wasn't taught to us before, but I'm gonna go over it briefly. I think I've exhausted myself, right? I can't even do it in the morning. Oh, praise the Most High. I go to the slave ship in the morning. So happy to go and be a slave. Oh, all right, but let's get to this real quick. All right, so gotta be mindful of my time. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 1. Wayamar al Mashah debadim, and Yahweh spake to Moses and Wa'aran debadim, and Yahweh spake to Moses and Aaron, saying, speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, when a man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue, he is unclean. I should have tagged Genesis in this because I don't think he knows this law. Right, I don't because I seen one of his posts where he mentioned King Solomon and uncleanness, and I wanted to crack a joke, but I was like, it would be sad if I did because it's just like telling somebody who don't know. You know what I'm saying, which you repent. You know what I'm saying, I apologize to brother Maharka. Right, so this is a law when a man has called a running issue out of his flesh. All right, because of his issue, he is unclean. Now, this running issue goes into a couple different things. This is where we get to the meaty, juicy part of sexually transmitted disease in the Bible, such as herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea. We've already seen the herpes there within the leprosy. Leprosy, that herpes wouldn't, that virus wouldn't, I don't think, fit into this category. And the reason why I don't think so is because of the differences in how it affects the body. As you see, the top of the chapter says cleansing unhealthiness. If you read this in different versions, it does say different things. Hold that thought real quick. Let's get Leviticus chapter 15, the Living Bible translation. Now we're just gonna play around, and I want to show you all this. Show you all one other thing. As you can see this screen right there. I want to encourage you to buy Bibles. Living Bible Translation, Green Book hardcover. Living Bible Translation. Oh, I didn't do it. Bible, Green Bible back cover. It's not good. All right, I know how to do it. Sure. In track. In track. In track. In track. Don't even track. Don't even track. Bible have passion. I suggest everybody have these translations. I know a lot of you women don't read the Bible to your children. A lot of you men, the Bible to feed it, and you want to have a good read. This is a very good one. Now, if I can, I want to find a specific one. I know some of you may have seen those. That's not what we're talking about. This one that you want to find. Now, I know that this Bible is not perfect. It has some serious growth issues. Okay. Why would I suggest that? I'm going to say, hey, listen, it's total trash. You know, the reason being is because you'll see that's actually called, and it's a paraphrased Bible because, it breaks down, which is very easy to understand. Anybody can read it. Now, it might confuse you because it's of what the old Torah has. But I'm going to tell you that this paraphrased Bible is. That's why we're going to read over here. And we're going to see what it says. Here we go. So I'm going to read it from. I'm going to go to our King James. Everybody knows we read from King James. Everybody knows from Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. I'm going to read it from, called bodily discharge, New Living Translation. Right now, when you go to the KJV, it's called unhealthiness. All right. Anyone that has had any experience, they do know that these things happen. All right. There's a way to protect ourselves from it. But sometimes there's no way to protect ourselves from it, and you became a victim of it, you became unclean, you became unclean. And I've been in this situation. All right. In the truth, and regrettably, outside the truth, and regrettably in the truth. Let's see. Our screen is coming back up, so be patient with us. All right. And the Lord, Moses, and speaking to the children of Israel, to them, any man has a burning issue out of his flesh because of the issue, he is unclean. So, brother made a funny comment. It wasn't funny. Some stuff I'm so. My funny are hurting feelings. So, I don't know. That's corny. But sometimes it's best to not say something, man. And then, okay, Most High, what you got? And the thing is ultimately just to teach everyone. So this is Moses before King about her. Right, but you'll see. Finish that up. Chapter. Here is chapter 12. The woman's issue is her blood. The man's issue is not only his sperm, his penis catches a cold. Guys got or his, it is his uncleanliness. Okay. Chapter 6. The force. Any better? I know it don't even sound like, I know. With the discharge, see that has set. Yes. Men like you have the tenacity to pick them, laugh, oh, lol. It don't help nobody. 2 or 3 likes, 2 or 3 clicks, views on it. When what we can actually do is go to the scriptures and show. You see where the man with the discharge said, you must wash your clothes, yourself in water, and you remain unclean. If you touch the man, water, so the man, you must wash and bathe yourself in water, and you clean in the evening, brother. You unclean, bro. It lets you know something. Be careful who you swap. Everybody, you smoke. You feel me? Watch which before and after. You know which men you do. You know you might in a moment. You don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. You know what I'm saying? You might outbreak at that moment. You got right now. Do other people with your presence, with your connection with them. We're ceremonially thing. Tag, you're it, and you're making it. A saddle blank on will be ceremonial. That man gets in your car. And it's him in your car. It'll be ceremonial. Anything that was under the man, you will be unclean until even. You must wash your clothes, bathe yourselves in water, and you will remain unclean until even. In the sense, you must wash your clothes and bathe yourselves in water. You remain unclean until even. Any pot, man, touch any wooden utensil must be washed in water. This is the law of sexually transmitted diseases and how to carry ourselves once you contract. Welcome to the wake up. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Leviticus 10, reading for you. And you you out of his flesh because of this issue. He is you know, open up handy dandy. Where are our Levites? Man, where are our Levites? These Negroes, these Levites are some very good men and women, and I love them. All right. So here's our word right here. Man hath a running issue. Now the word that we have for issue right here is Hebrew 2100. 100 pertains to a man's penis. Okay. It refers to a man's Mamathan. And the word that we have is za, wa, ba, zawab, zawab, zawab. Zawab sounds exactly like what it is. It literally means flow, have a issue, to gush out, pine away, half run. Swab out of his penis, you have a flow out of your penis, you have a gush out of your mammethon, you have an issue or a discharge out of your mammethon, to flow, to gush out of your mammethon, to die, to pine away, the flow of the issue of woman, have an issue, flux, mammethon, to flow, all right, flowing. So this zawab is exactly what it sounds like. You have a gushing coming out of your mammethon, and because you have a gush coming out of your mammethon, it can go into a couple different ways. One, it can be a zawab, your flow, your gush out from sperm, or it could be a zawab, a flow, a gush out from what you see right here. And we're going to read it to you. I really love y'all. I don't leave y'all hanging. I really don't like that a lot of these teachers, in my personal opinion, they suck because they don't care. And it's like kind of it's like a popularity contest. But, you know, I ain't popular. Look at this word, zawab, to flow properly, used for water. Psalm 78, verse 20, 105:41. Isaiah 48 and 21. It is often used of the female cantamina, Leviticus chapter 15:25, or listen, here it goes, seminal emission or gonorrhea of males. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 2, to flow with anything is also by an idiom of language used of things or persons in or form which anything flows as a woman in her menstrual flow. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19, a man suffering from gonorrhea. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 4. You see, a foolish man wouldn't notice. I don't feel bad about not only experiencing it in my life because I can say I've had the experience of it. I don't feel bad about knowing it, and I don't feel bad about being able to educate you for it. And some people who don't, and they can't, that's for them. For me, I can say this is the subject matter. All right. So, with this being the subject matter, hopefully this will help somebody to be able to see and to understand. And the subject has always been there. All right. It's right there in the scriptures. And anybody that looks to practice the Torah or the reading thereof will be able to understand it. All right. The water for those of you who hung in there as long as you can. Put a 7 in the room real quick. I'm about to end this video. Put a 7 in the room so I can see who you are. All right. And it may be the storm on other people's ends. All right. It just may be choppy. All right. We're going to go ahead and end this video. Yah Baraka come. Yah Bashama check out Shai. And this is good for you to know. All right. I'm going to finish reading this out because it's the rest of the law portion of this week's Torah portion. All right. And there's so much more to it. So put a 7 in the room. All right. Just a salute. And I appreciate you. Yah Baraka Yah Bashama check out Shai. All right. Let's go ahead and finish this up. All right. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 2, speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, when a man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. And this shall be his issue, and this shall be his uncleanness and his issue. Whether his flesh run with the issue or his flesh be stopped from the issue, it is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth that hath the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth that sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. And he that sits on anything whereon he sat and hath the issue shall wash clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. And he that toucheth his flesh, the flesh of him that hath the issue, shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until evening. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is unclean, then he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. And what saddle whatsoever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean. And whatsoever And whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even, and he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And whosoever he that toucheth him that hath the issue, and hath not rinsed his hand in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And the vessel of earth that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. Verse 13. And he that hath the issue, and when he that hath the issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water. He shall be clean. And the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons, and come before Yahweh out of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give it to the priest. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahweh for his issue. And if any seed of copulation, so this is how we see is the difference in his sickness and his firm. And if any seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in the water, and be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the sin of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until even. The woman also with man shall lie with copulation. They shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if the woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. Whosoever touch her shall be unclean until the even. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean. And if it be not, and if it be on her bed, or anything wherein she sitteth, wherein she toucheth, he shall be unclean until it sounds like. And if anything on the sock, if it's on the bed, it's on the shirt, it's on the belt, it's on the shoes, these things are unclean. Ain't just no wiping it off. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, so now her menstrual blood is upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed wherein he layeth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue in her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it runs beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanliness shall be as the days of separation. She shall be unclean. Every bed wherein she lieth, all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation. Look at that, as the bed of her separation. So that means you women are supposed to be sleeping in a totally different place than men. We're not supposed to be hugged up and cuddled up next to our women when they're on their flower. Okay, you brothers got to stop that. And then coming to the Shabbat, dapping everybody up. You're wrong for that. All right. And whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever touches those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for her before Yahweh for the issue of what? Of her uncleanliness. Verse 33. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanliness, that they die not in their uncleanliness when they defile my tabernacle. That is amongst them. This is the law of him that hath the issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and is defiled therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath the issue, of the man, of the woman, and of him that lieth with her that is unclean. Repeat after me. Kol Asherah, the body Yahweh, Na'isha, wa Nashamai. All that Yahweh has said, will we do and hear. This is not a hard commandment at all whatsoever for anybody to say, oh, word, I didn't know that. Now, even if you go through all the details with the leprosy and you're having a hard time understanding that, you obviously, are an astute person. And if you know somebody who has extreme eczema, or you know somebody who has vitiligo, then congratulations. You've just met somebody that the Bible is mentioning. And you might not be able to understand it, but I'm pretty sure that that person, that friend, that family member, they might be able to explain it to you better. If you are a person who currently has a sexually transmitted disease, or if you have herpes and you're having a flare up right now, this is a perfect time to do what? The scripture says to give offerings of meat unto the Lord in righteousness and pray unto him and then go seek the physician and he will heal you. All right. I know what you might say, you know, but we just read it. The Most High tells us to give honor to the physician in all things. Okay. So all of these principles are really here. All right. Everything from unclean, the uncleanness of blood to childbirth to, and a lot of people didn't know this. Gonorrhea is right here in the Bible. Okay. You can find it also in the book of Proverbs. All right. Going along with the flow of a man's semen. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? I know it was for me the first time. Was it good for you the first time? Yeah, it was good for me the first time too. The Most High tells us, right? Now, this is a new living translation. It's really easy to break down. It just says bodily discharges, right? And it's talking about the man is defiled by the bodily discharge. It's really not hard to see. All right. It could be a big serious breakdown, but why? Why for it when the key words are right here? Now you can learn, help, teach others, edify yourself, right? We're going to do Isaiah chapter 66, and this is only 24 verses. Isaiah 66, for those of you who have the gusto, let's get it. And Yahweh, thus saith Yahweh of heaven, thus saith Yahweh, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that you will build unto me? And where is the place of my rest? For all those things, excuse me, hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith Yahweh. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. So it's the humility that the Most High takes us through. All right. So, Anyabla come, Yabarak come, Yabashimashirashai. All right. It seems like it's still choppy, and I don't want to suffer anybody to go through this. All right. I'll be going through it for myself, and if you would like to, please check out the rest of the Torah. It's only 10 verses into the gospel. Okay. It's only 10 verses into the gospel. And it's so crazy because, I don't know, it's internet or whatever. All right. Let's see. 9. And I'll leave you with this one. Mark. I'm going to say Leviticus all day. Mark chapter 10. Mark chapter 9, verse 40 through verse 50. Mark chapter 9. And I'm going to go to verse 40. Mark chapter 9, verse 40. For he is not against us. For he that is not against us is on our part. You can't make this stuff up. Yahweh was putting this in my spirit when I had some gainsayers this week or last week. This is exactly the description the most I put in my spirit, and which actually helped me to not fire back. You feel me? Um, for whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because you belong in Christ, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for them that had, excuse me, it's better for them that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he were cast into the sea. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands going into hell, into that fire that shall never be quenched. This verse always cut me. Like I was always like, is this a masturbation verse? Like this verse always compelled me. Like, what other sin is there that can defile you outside from drinking and smoking? And then it goes along with the Torah portion of being unclean. I really think it is. Like, yo, just cut off your hands. That's sin. And it's always been a joke, like a running joke. Like even before, like I had comprehension of what it was. Like there was people that joked about it before, but this verse is not funny. It says, Mark chapter 9, verse 44, where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched. That's hell. And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off, right? It is better for thee to enter halt. Excuse me. It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet being cast into hell, all right? Into the fire that shall never be quenched, where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched. And if thy eye offend thee, pluck it out. For it is better for thee to go into the kingdom of Allahia with one eye than having two eyes been cast into hellfire. I don't believe hell is a mind state. I don't get along with that Sakari teaching. Hell is not a mind state, it's a place of torment. All right, so let's get that straight. All right. Mark chapter 9, verse 48, where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched. Terrifying. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Verse 50, salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, wherein shall ye, wherein ye, wherein will ye season it? All right. Have salt in yourselves and have peace one with another. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. That was extremely helpful for me to have to hear for myself. All right. And Thawada, I seen your 7. I just had to finish this up. There's so many people that quit, and I just can't quit for any cause. Just because I can't quit. If nothing else, I gotta read it for myself. Even if people drop off and be like, "Oh, well, it's not choppy. I couldn't hear your video." You just didn't stick to it with me. So that's the completion of the reading of this week's Torah portion. Save the book of Isaiah 66, which I encourage you to either read or listen to. And that's the part where, eating unclean meat is going to bring the Most High's judgment when Christ comes back, which brothers like Shabar, Terrence should not be teaching that there's not a law of sin, should not be teaching that there's no law of sacrifice for it, which I believe he corrected that, repented that. I just haven't heard it yet. All right, but it absolutely is. And we have to speak out against it and also encourage our people to have a set apart mentality. All right. That's it for me. I'm tired. I'm gonna take a nap and I have fun. Ya Baraka Kai how much I got shy. Shalom, Shalom Banyam, Anyabla come. Shalom. I really like that last instrument. That last instrument was rough. I like that. I like that. Is that this? Yeah, that's that one. All right. Laila Twa, Shalom. I'm gonna share the link to the soundtrack if you liked it. They say every hero gotta have a good soundtrack. Right? Every black action hero, action hero. Every action hero got to have a good soundtrack. All right, so here's the link to that. And with that being said, Shalom Lakum, Yahweh Shalom. So, I'm next, Raleigh. What we got?